around the world on Prime Cuts. But now, stay tuned for an Atlantic 10 clash as St. Bonaventure takes on the Temple Owls. You're watching Empire Sports Network.
The Temple Owls are one of the nation's top teams this year. Number 13 ranked Owls have plenty of weapons, including senior Aaron McKee, who is one of the best players in the nation. St. Bonaventure has a 2-1 record against top 25 teams at home this year. The Bonnies will be led by Atlantic 10 Player of the Week, Harry Moore. The Bonnies will try to make it 3 out of 4 against top 25 teams next. Sports Network present NCAA basketball. Live from the Riley Center in Olean, New York, it's Temple versus St. Bonaventure. Hi, everyone. I'm Don McClain, along with Pete Weber and Jim Sadler. Tonight, the Bonnies take on a Temple team that is 17-4 on the year. They lost, of course, to the UMass on Sunday by 1 point, 56-55. They have a great player in Aaron McKee, but no head coach tonight, Pete.
Right. They don't have a head coach tonight. Jim Maloney takes over, the former Niagara player and coach. And here's the situation. We say hello to Coach John Chaney, watching at home in Philadelphia tonight. Suspended 1 game by Temple University for threatening to kill John Calipari, the UMass coach, and to have his players try and mug the UMass players when they meet again next week. Coach, you're very fortunate it's only 1 game. And you're also very fortunate to have had Aaron McKee for 4 years. Here's a guy who very well could be a #1 draft choice in the NBA this year.
Well, he certainly could, Pete. And, of course, the Bonnies have had their problems here. The Bonnies this year, 9-11. Their last one, a tough loss to Duquesne on Saturday. And Jimmy Sadlin, they got a kid by the name of Harry Moore who can put the ball through the hoop, but they need help from other guys, too.
Well, they certainly do. Harry Moore is a terrific player. He's been cataloged many times before on these networks. But I think there's some things, Don, that St. Bonaventure must and must not do in order to stay in tonight's game. Number 1, they must take the ball inside to try to challenge Temple's matchup zone. Any good team that has competed against Temple in the past and been successful in doing that have gone inside first, then gone outside. Second thing is they can't get this into a perimeter three-point shooting type game for 2 reasons. 1, Temple is the #1 three-point shooting team in the Atlantic 10. Number 2, St. Bonaventure is the worst three-point shooting team in the Atlantic 10. So Bonnies are going to have to keep it inside, forget taking the outside shots today.
Okay, Jim, and of course, the Bonnies have not been very good with Temple. Temple leads this series 27-1. The last meeting, the Owls won it 73-52 in Philadelphia. We'll be back with the start of tonight's ball game and the lineups in just a moment on the Empire Sports Network.
It consumes your every waking moment.
After all, this is an irresistible combination.
It's a cheese lover's dream.
With shredded cheddar cheese, sliced Swiss, and a Parmesan cheese sauce. It's Arby's $1.99 triple cheese melt sub, a cheese lover's dream. 3 cheeses smothering Arby's roast beef on a freshly toasted sub roll.
You're completely powerless.
Enjoy the triple cheese melt sub, only $1.99 and only at Arby's.
Hi, hockey fans. I'm Mike Robitaille, the host of Hockey Hotline. The next Sabre game on Empire will be February the 25th when the Chicago Blackhawks are in town. And that means another edition of Hockey Hotline immediately following the Blackhawks Sabre game on the 25th.
Hockey Hotline is brought to you by your local Jeep Eagle dealer, Mint's Gentlemen's Nightclub, and by DeLacy Ford.
There's a party going on and everyone's invited, except you. That's how life seems when you're out of work. Wondering what they've got that you don't? It's not luck. It's training for today's jobs. It's a degree. It's a future. Call Bryant and Stratton to learn the latest skills and start a real career. Get the message? Get a future at Bryant and Stratton.
You wouldn't think of doing this with your money, yet every year hundreds of local retailers fail to use advertising funds available from their suppliers. At Cable Media, we've helped retailers just like you create effective, affordable television advertising, sometimes paid 100% by manufacturers. We'll search out available funds, produce your commercial, and help process your co-op claim. Don't let your co-op dollars go up in smoke. Put them to work with our help. Just a phone call away at 827-1113.
From the Riley Center, we've just had the singing of the national anthem. Some creative signs have been displayed by the students around the Riley Center here tonight, basically going around the theme of "Thou shalt not kill." Even upside down, you can figure out what the sentiments might be.
I mean, he only said he was going to kill him. It wasn't like he said he was going to maim him and go after his kids or anything. You know, give him a break, John Chaney.
I thought it was just a game.
Give him it is just a game. No, I feel bad for John Chaney. He's a friend and he's a wonderful basketball coach, and just got caught up in the moment, and it's unfortunate. He shouldn't have done that, and I'm sure he knows it now, but it's over with, and we can get to playing some basketball.
It's certainly out of character with what he has done over the course of his career. Coach Jim Barron looking on as the starting lineups being announced for the Temple Owls. Aaron McKee coming out first of all. We talked about him on the pregame show. William Cunningham, who began his career as a starter last year for Temple, coming out to play one of the post positions. And the Owls, keep in mind now, have lost not only UMass, but 2 of their last 3. And now the introduction to the starting lineup for the Bonnies. Shandu McNeil, who has done the job so well running the offense this season after the first part of the season getting established as the freshman, has done an outstanding job, and that has allowed Dave Vanderpool to go over to a number 2 position.
Shandu's got a tough one tonight, though, to try and work against the matchup zone and the size of Temple's guards, plus their big people, of course.
Jeff Quackenbush will play in the middle. Garland Mance at one forward. And working at the other forward, Harry Moore and Aaron McKee went to the same high school, Gratz High School in Philadelphia. They won't be going against one another here tonight very frequently, but still a little bit of the rivalry there. There's Jim Barron, coach of St. Bonaventure. Jim Maloney running things for the Temple Owls tonight. Back with the opening tip in just a moment on the Empire Sports Network.
At Buffalo Brewing Company, we put a little bit of the old country into every beer we make. We import only the choicest hops, yeast, and barley malt from Germany and brew them in copper kettles. So when you pick up a bottle of Buffalo Lager, you'll find only 4 ingredients. No chemicals, no preservatives. Bring home the old country. Taste the all-natural, world-class hometown brew. Buffalo Lager and Buffalo Light. Real beer. The way it should be.
All kids need someone to help them through tough times. That's why the Niagara Frontier Auto Dealers created the Children's Foundation. Their foundation is sponsoring a special event to benefit 5 local children's charities. For every car and truck sold from February 9th through February 28th, participating member dealers will donate $50 to one of these 5 charities designated by you, the customer. It's your chance. So buy a car and help our kids.
Officiating tonight's Temple St. Bonaventure game here at the Riley Center. John Cahill in from Albany, Rich Sanfilippo in from Milburn, New Jersey, and Ted Valentine from Orient, Ohio. Those the starting lineups for you as you set your scorebooks along with us. And let's see how things work out here tonight as Harry Moore steps in against William Cunningham for the opening tip. And Shandu McNeil chases it down to the backcourt for St. Bonaventure. And McNeil already has gone against Temple this season. He's outside to Mance. Moore back to Mance, swung to McNeil, looking for Vanderpool. Kicked out of bounds by Eddie Jones.
Well, this is going to be St. Bonaventure's chore all night long to try to attack the matchup zone that John Chaney and his Temple Hours are so famous for.
And to be both patient and quick to do so. Three-point try from the outside, doesn't go, and Cunningham knocks it back out of bounds to the Bonnies.
You know, we talked on top that as we see Jim Maloney coming back to the Riley Center, but they're not going to beat this zone by throwing three-pointers up. They really have to show some patience, try to get the ball inside. Certainly they're going to have to make some jumpers, but they really have to make a concerted effort to get it down low.
There's Mance, who took that three-point shot earlier. Now Harry Moore tries the tray. No, and the rebound for Vanderpool.
Now, surprisingly, Temple is not a great rebounding team, probably middle of the conference. Bonnies are rebounding the ball very well this year, considering they don't have great size.
Way outside Quackenbush. And to think about some other things, too, John Chaney's club has essentially only played 7 guys heavily. So maybe by working inside, that could eventually, if they're successful, work in St. Bonaventure's favor. Another tray. Another time it doesn't go.
And 3 offensive rebounds.
Now a 2-point try, and Cunningham the rebound for Temple.
This is going to upset Jim Maloney and his Temple Owls very much if they're going to continue to give up 2 and 3 shots on the offensive board to St. Bonaventure.
Rick Brunson running the attack for the Owls. A junior out of Salem, Massachusetts, outside for McKee. Very explosive player, good overall player, Brunson. Dealt off, Cunningham walking before he launched the shot.
What we saw happen, though, Peter, is Rick Brunson immediately trying to take Shandu McNeil down low and post him up, try to go to the basket off him. Makes the dish off that time. Next time, he'll shoot the ball.
Shandu McNeil with Brunson backing off now into that matchup zone. Quackenbush way outside. Bonnie's going to need some bodies inside to put it in there.
Well, you know that Temple's going to give up the outside shot based on Bonaventure's ranking in the league in last place in three-point shooting, but Bonnies just can't fall into the trap of trying to take all threes.
Well, they're trying another. Vanderpool. Battle for the rebound, kept alive by Mance. Puts it down and up and score it.
Very poor job by Temple early on as the Bonnies are ruling the offensive board. What happens too is you take some threes, long rebounds occur because of that. But that wasn't a long rebound.
No, it came down low, and a good job by Mance to tear it away. Well, Aaron McKee. Now on the right side, Jones, no.
Mance and David Vanderpool have the envious or unenviable chore of playing against Eddie Jones, Aaron McKee on the defensive end.
Yeah, I'd say unenviable. It's going to be a long night's work for them.
But it's a great challenge, though. Any competitor will look at this as a great challenge with the opportunity to make something happen.
Tipped away by McKee. He comes down court with it. Outside Brunson. McKee left corner. Decides to put it up against Vanderpool and scores it. He has the tray. With
David Vanderpool right in his face. We see the statistics hold true immediately. Temple, the best shooting three-point team in the league, comes down and knocks one down. On the other end, Bonnie's still got 0 for 4 from the three-point line.
And McKee, the best in his team, at it at 37%. In the lane for Moore. No! And the rebound for Eddie Jones of Temple.
Real good look, though, for Harry Moore.
Jones tripped up by Vanderpool as he tried to drive the right of the lane.
Temple plays with no emotion whatsoever as we see Eddie Jones going to the basket. Vanderpool reaches and commits the foul, but Temple really plays, and this is a typical John Chaney team, in that they don't show a great deal of emotion, whether up or down.
Trying to keep the even keel. Jones at the free throw line. And he hits the first, giving the Owls a 4-2 advantage.
Bonnies really have to hit some shots early to get this crowd into the game. I think the students would love to get into the game here early. Bonnies are going to have to make a couple shots for that to happen.
Bonnies trail by a deuce. 3:23 gone in the opening half.
Wide open shots. You know, he's going to have to look for that. That was a mistake, I think, on the Temple defense right there. Vanderpool had a wide open shot. He's going to have to look for that one.
Mance, who has taken 3 tray attempts already and knocked out of bounds by Aaron McKee. It'll be Bonnie ball, and there's going to be a substitution coming in here. And it's going to be the big guy, Shelton. Sidney Shelton will come in and take over for Quackenbush.
Shelton played very well against Duquesne on Saturday with a career-high 10 points.
McNeil, well, he had to put it up, and he scores it.
Well, very good shot. That's going to be a tough situation for Shandu, I believe, all night long if he's going to have to try to go up and over Rick Brunson or Aaron McKee.
Very tough at his 5'7" and maybe generously listed so to try and do that. Batee inside turns, a little long, and McNeil the rebound.
Nice box out by Garland Mance.
Excellent box out. Now McNeil, middle opened up for him, a hanger, and he's called for traveling.
That's where his size is going to hurt him, as we mentioned before.
Timeout taken, 4:13 gone, and this game tied at 4. St. Bonaventure controlled the ball most of the first 90 seconds. We'll return with more from the Riley Center in Olean in just a moment on the Empire Sports Network.
Eastern Hills Mall, Q102, and Empire Sports Network want to show you how to turn your mall receipts into thousands of dollars in valuable prizes in the Eastern Hills Mall Frequent Shopper Program. Visit the Prize Center in the Mall Center Concourse for details. Hi, this is Q102's Rob Lucas. Join me on the first Saturday of each month from 2 to 6 p.m. That's when we'll do a live broadcast from Eastern Hills Mall and announce that month's Frequent Shopper Prize Pack winners. Be a winner. Be a frequent shopper at Eastern Hills Mall.
If you're looking for new car and truck financing or leasing that's quick, convenient, and flexible, you're on the right road. Just ask for Ford Credit, the key to quality.
To Lacey Ford and dare to compare savings, selection, and service. Visit their showroom and see the latest selection of 94 Ford cars and trucks. There's one waiting for you.
Ford Credit, the key to quality at your local Ford dealer.
DeLacy Ford, 5229 Broadway in Lancaster.
4-4 with 15:47 to go in the first half. Creative sign bunch in that student group, is it not? The A-10 conference standings, and UMass taking its first loss last night going against St. Joe's, and a few people surprised there in Amherst.
Yes, but that might have been a residual effect also from the problem that occurred last Sunday. And St. Joe's is good at home. They play very strong. Worley had a terrific basketball game, so anything can happen when you lace them up and you go out and play.
Have you talked to Dale Brown yet today?
Oh, man, I wouldn't want to talk to Dale Brown today at all. What a great comeback, though, huh?
Incredible. 31 points down, and the pressure slowing Temple down anyway. Cunningham out in that left wing waiting for the rest of the offense to catch up.
You can't let this man shoot the three, though.
He does. McKee hits his second tray.
If Bonnies are going to go into some kind of full court pressure, they certainly have to react and get back and cover the shooters, which is the Temple triumvirate of Brunson, Jones, and McKee.
An outstanding group. Vanderpool. Now it's Moore in the corner. Back to Vanderpool as they get inside on Cunningham. Score it.
See, I think Bonaventure's going to have some success by taking it and using their athletic ability, trying to take it to the basket as opposed to camping out behind the line and taking threes. They haven't made them all year long. There's no reason to think they're going to commit against this Temple team and make threes.
Vanderpool good going to the basket.
Yes, he is.
And the foul going on McKee. He hits it. I thought it was going to go on Cunningham, but they have McKee up. 7-all. On the right to McKee on that wing. Try to play a little two-man game. Puts up the shot himself. Cunningham keeps the rebound alive. Can't control it. Jones does get it. Batee turns in on Moore with the muscle. Can't score. Cunningham misses the tip. Boy, offensive rebounds aplenty, but finally knocked out of bounds by Temple.
Well, Jim Maloney's got to be happy to see that at least. That Temple's shown some real action on the offensive board. First time they've gotten to the offensive board in the first 5 or 6 minutes.
Jason Ivey is going to report in for the Owls. Meantime, it's Mance outside. He thought Trey for a moment. McNeil. Vanderpool looking it over, and it's Harry Moore, his choice. Back out for Vanderpool. McNeil bluffs the three, moves inside, throws up a prayer. Shelton had it in his hands, but wasn't able to hold on.
Not a bad move by Shandu McNeil. Shelton right there for the rebound, couldn't quite get the handle on it, but I like the fact that he's looking to penetrate against the bigger people.
Ivy in for Cunningham for Temple. Nee Nelson Richards has come in. for St. Bonaventure as he replaces Garland Mance.
Well, we talk about what Temple not being a great rebounding team. Where they can get away with it is the fact that they have so few turnovers per game. Under 10 a game, unheard of in college basketball.
Especially after the shot clock came in.
But they've always been like that. They've always taken care of the ball. Now they're running the ball a little bit more up and down the court, which is even more impressive.
Chance for St. Bonaventure to take a lead again. Harry Moore's tray! Oh, what a job that was to get his defender to go by him and then still have the balance to put up a three-point shot.
Well, Harry Moore is certainly one of the premier players in the Atlantic 10, and he showed why right there.
Brunson. Ivy inside. No! Moore the rebound. And McNeil down the right sideline.
Well, the longer that Bonaventure hangs in a game like this and gets the crowd in it, the tougher they're going to be when it comes down to the end.
Vanderpool from 16. Now the rebound taken down by Batiste.
Temple is really not in it defensively right now. Bonaventure's getting an awful lot of great looks at the basket. Wide open shots.
Quick pass here and there, too, and they've gotten some very great shots just by moving the ball quickly. Obviously something they've worked on quite a bit heading into this game. Brunson on the right for Jones's three. No, and rebound position for Shelton and St. Bonaventure.
Jones has not been able to get off yet. Still looking for his first one.
Man's going to come back in for the Bonnies. Harry Moore. Cross court goes to Nelson Richards. Vanderpool, he'll put up the three. Won't score with it though. And Batiste clears the rebound once again. St. Bonaventure up 10-7. Brunson. He has McKee. Nice pass around the side to Ivy, and Ivy does score after tumbling to the floor.
Beautiful pass on the penetration move. Ivy is able to take care of it at the end. Shelton makes a nice defensive play, tries to draw the charge. No call.
Chandu McNeil gets the return. Here's Nelson Richards with the tray. Off to the side, Brunson the rebound. And again, Coach, what you were talking about earlier, you can't overly rely on that three. Brunson, the long left-hander, no. And off the iron, out of bounds.
Brunson's first look at the basket. A quick one. Doesn't fall for him.
Timeout here with 11:55 to go in the half. Bonnie's up one. We'll return in just a moment on the Empire Sports Network.
Convenient. Our name says it all. With more than 4,000 items to choose from, convenient food marts are the bigger, brighter, and better choice for food, snacks, milk, soft drinks, beer, party supplies, and more. Subs and More, located in Convenient Food Mart, where your giant subs and sandwiches are made to order. Each Convenient Food Mart is individually owned and operated with a personal touch. 54 convenient locations, 4,000 items to choose from. Open convenient hours. We're Convenient Food Mart. Our name says it all.
To come to Fascinations and see why Buffalo is one of the best sports towns around. Fascinations is inviting you down Sunday for the Sunday Sabres Shootout. We'll challenge you to snap it through the goalie's pie hole to win great prizes, including Buffalo Sabres tickets. We'll have winners all Sunday long. And if the Sabres are playing that night, stay at Fascinations for the game and enjoy $1 bar drinks and more great prizes. That's the Sunday Sabres Shootout at Fascinations, Union and French Roads in the Garden Village Plaza, Cheektowaga.
Well, St. Bonaventure with the lead by one on the scoreboard and the rebounding column also as Jim Barron diagrams what he wants coming up next. Now stay tuned after this one for more college basketball. The Missouri Tigers take on the Iowa State Cyclones tonight at 10 here on the Empire Sports Network. Geez, Missouri headed to the Big Ten now next?
Well, we get a minute. I'd like to certainly send some best wishes to Dick Gelati, former longtime trainer for St. Bonaventure, who had a little problem and is resting comfortably in Rochester General Hospital. Get well soon, Dick, from everybody here at St. Bonaventure.
Absolutely no fun taking in these games from a hospital, I'll tell you, but happy to bring them to you. There you see the field goal percentages. Not exactly fiery hot either side.
No, you're
That's why I have all those rebound chances.
By saying that. And you know, Bonaventure's really had an awful lot of good looks. Temple has had a hand in the face most of the time, but Bonnie's really have had some open shots. But we mentioned before, they're not a great shooting team, so not going to happen for them if they continue to shoot the perimeter.
Quackenbush back in there along with Mance, the starting unit in there. Cross court as it goes, minus, of course, Vanderpool in the starting unit. Trying to drive the baseline, knocked out of bounds by Temple.
Either Battie or Jones. Jim Barron wants to see executed what he had just spent so much time diagramming.
Yep. He said, guys, I just spent that whole time out telling you what I wanted to do. Let's go out and do it.
Into Quackenbush, into that matchup zone in the teeth of it, in and out. Harry Moore, the offensive board, puts it down up, but is called for traveling.
Good effort on the board by Harry Moore. Every time they've made a little penetration move, they really have gotten some pretty good shots. I would think that they'd want to really look to do that a little bit more.
Yeah, spend more time on that, absolutely.
And there's no hurry. I think the shot clock is not going to come into effect, so they don't need to rush it.
Battie, the sophomore, turns inside on Quackenbush and score it. He gets his first two. It's 11-10 now. Temple with the lead.
Looking for the charge. John Cahill doesn't make the call.
Quackenbush swinging it. They swing it in one line on one single plane. Nelson Richards with the three. In and out. Moore thought he had position, but it came tapping out to Brunson. He starts it back up court.
And Nelson Richards had the, as we see Jones go to the basket with a big-time move.
Eddie Jones with 3 points now.
That's why the pro scouts are all drooling over both Aaron McKee and Eddie Jones. But, you know, we saw Nelson Richards get a look at a three-pointer to win the Duquesne game on Saturday, and it didn't fly for him.
Quackenbush, the big guy with the long rebound off the three miss, comes down to Eddie Jones.
I got to think that this must be Bonaventure's strategy to look for the three, thinking that maybe they've got a better opportunity to knock him down, but hasn't worked so far.
And we're talking about history for the season as well. Jones, no, but Battie on the offensive follow.
And I'm sure that on the other side, Jim Maloney's saying, hey guys, let's take it inside. We've got the height advantage. Let's try to get it down low.
Bonaventure down 5 as Shandu McNeil hopes he can get something going. McNeil was thinking about Nelson Richards. Now goes that direction on the right. Richards had some room to drive, throws up a runner, and he does draw a foul.
Now, I'm not going to say this again. We're not going to belabor the point, but when you go to the basket, something's going to happen. Either it's going to be a charge, it's going to be a grab, it's going to be something, and there's the foul that Nelson Richards causes. So, I just think that they really have to take their time a little bit more, St. Bonaventure. Look to get it inside. Don't be so content to just throw up the threes.
Ivy was the Temple player charged with the foul. Nelson Richards gets his first point of the night. And now the Bonnies will go without a true point guard as Sandra McNeil goes to the side with 9:39 on the half, and Vanterpool replaces him.
Well, when you're playing against the matchup, maybe you don't need the true point as much as you would in a normal situation. Bonnie's looking to put some pressure on from a full court standpoint.
And the height differential, of course, between Vanterpool and McNeil, something that maybe they can take advantage of. Temple up by 3.
Temple runs a very simplified man-to-man offense, stacking on either side. They pop one of their top players out, or they look inside for a post-up move.
Now McKee, he
beautiful
man's flying by him, but the shot is short, and Vanterpool the rebound. Harry Moore gets it down court quickly. Cross court. Nelson Richards, the hesitation shot. No, and the rebound stolen away by Vanterpool. He reached over from behind and took it from Ivy.
Bonnies are doing a terrific job on the offensive board. Very aggressive, getting to every loose ball. Right now they've out-hustled Temple to most loose balls.
Moore's three-point try. That doesn't go. Brunson had a hand on it, and a foul called as he got it in.
Harry Moore is Bonaventure's best three-point shooter, shooting about 36%, but right now the strategy of getting to the threes really hasn't worked. They've only knocked one of them down.
Nelson Richards charged with the foul. You saw him going up and contending with Brunson.
Shandu McNeil with just a quick blow as he's back in the game. And makes the steal and makes the pass.
Now it's 2-on-1. Across the lane, bad pass. And traveling the call as St. Bonaventure will get it back.
Garland Mance wasn't sure whether he wanted to try to take it to the basket himself or dish it off, and elected to pass. Nice steal by Shandu McNeil. He's so small that no one even saw him. He kind of snuck in there under McKee's armpit.
And now lobbed way out into the backcourt. Mance watched by Brunson. Now McNeil. Harry Moore pops his way free out there in three-point country again.
Nance, as neat as Harry Moore had snuck in there, back out for McNeil. Vanderpool, now inside Harry Moore. Good movement of the ball.
Cross-court pass, back and forth. Eventually they find Harry Moore. Harry Moore is tough to handle inside. I think I'd like to keep him down there rather than roaming around on the perimeter.
Bono within one with 7:53 to go in the half. On the left, that's Aaron McKee. The All-American we were telling you about, Player of the Year in the Atlantic 10 last year. Brunson, well, they managed to get McNeil to commit himself, and McNeil gets the foul.
Post-up move for Richie Brunson as he's got about 7 or 8 inches probably on Shandu and McNeil. Tough matchup for Shandu. Here's the post-up as he backs in. Quackenbush thinks about going out to help, but it commits a little bit too late. At that point, Brunson had already made his move.
Brunson, outstanding all-around guard for Temple, hits the first free throw.
Almost transferred to Boston College. Decided to stay at Temple, and John Chaney and the guys are real happy that he made that decision.
Oh, yeah. Hits them both. Rick Brunson gets both free throws. Temple is 3 of 4 from the line and leads by 3 with 7:43 to go in the half. We'll return to the Riley Center in Olean, but first, please, this commercial timeout on the Empire Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Paul McGuire, and for 11 years I've had the pleasure to talk to the greatest sports fans in America right here on the Budweiser Sports Line. I've also had the pleasure of introducing some of the biggest names in sports. It happens every Tuesday on the Empire Sports Network.
Sportsline with Paul McGuire, Tuesday nights live at 7 on Empire Sports Network.
The Owls by 3 as we move down to the final 7:43 of the first half. And a reminder, don't miss your chance to talk college basketball on Round Ball Wrap. Host Jim Saddleton and Bob Kaczynski take your calls Thursday nights at 7, only on Empire Sports Network. Don't miss it. Tomorrow night's guest, Niagara coach Jack Armstrong. Niagara taking on Canisius tonight at the Odd.
Big game and certainly a tough year for Jack Armstrong, but
there, take a look at the three-point field goal. St. Bonaventure just 1 of 10.
Yeah.
Just 10 attempts stands out at you anyway.
That's a lot after 12, 13 minutes of this game, and Temple's certainly given that up. But the Bonnies have done such a great job in close games this year, and it's close right now that they've had 9 games that have been decided by 6 points or less, and they're 5 and 4 in those games. So obviously, if they can keep the game within striking distance at the end, they might have a chance to steal one here against this powerful Temple team.
Shandu McNeil looking across. That's Garland Mance. Now McNeil has it back, given a little bit of room. Harry Moore in the lane, turns from 14, and the bounce goes for it. That's the home court bounce.
See, there's again, Harry Moore decides to flash in, catches it inside the foul line, is able to make a 15-footer.
Now Brunson wheels it across on the left sideline. McKee moves on Quackenbush. Quackenbush maybe caused him to alter his shot just enough.
Well, Temple can usually handle any kind of press or any kind of defense that's thrown at him. Bonnie's made him move a little bit quicker that time. Let's see if they continue trying to do that.
Quackenbush open right side, but short. Vanderpool, offensive board. No. Tap up doesn't go, but T has it for Temple.
Tell you what, though, if Bonnie's keeps getting those kind of opportunities on the offensive board, they will be here for the whole 40 minutes.
Exactly. Eddie Jones. Vanderpool sort of enveloping him, then Jones pulls back out. Now Brunson with Jones on the right with him. And Jones goes around baseline. Here's Battie turning in the lane on Quackenbush. No, Quackenbush rebounds it.
Bonnie's doing a nice job on the defensive end, forcing Ivy, Battie, some of those players to try to beat him.
This is Garland Mance. He's going to take another tray for the Bonnies. No, more the rebound, and dribbles it outside.
Now I know why they're taking the threes, because they can get the offensive rebounds then every time.
The runner doesn't go. Quackenbush gets the rebound of the miss by Mance, and then it's tipped away. Jones, McKee with the tip, Jones with the shot, and Jones with the follow. No, and the rattle for the rebound. Jones not fouled by Quackenbush. He is surrounded by three, and they take it back out for Brunson.
It's a wild sequence right there.
Was it ever? And I don't think very much time elapsed from the shot clock. I looked up after that scramble. There were only 2 seconds gone.
Showed some great quickness, though. McKee and Jones both beating Shandu McNeil to the ball in an all-out sprint.
Eddie Jones outside left. 14 on the shot clock as he gets it to Brunson. Now McKee, right baseline on Vanderpool. Wraps it around, and the ball lost, stolen by Vanderpool. 3-on-2. Vanderpool to the hole, fouled before the shot.
David Vanderpool is an exceptional defensive player. When he's not shooting the ball well, he's talented enough to be able to get to the board, make a steal, guard his man, do an awful lot of different things.
Brunson with the foul. Quackenbush to the bench. Nee Nelson Richards in. There's the steal.
There's the steal, and then he's looking around for some help, and he said, now I'm going to take it all by myself this time.
Brunson crossed over and trying to help out Battie, and then ended up committing the foul. Well, that's his first. And Vanderpool at the line for the second time tonight.
You know, you always have to wonder how the absence of John Chaney is going to affect this basketball team. Anytime there's a change, you know, in your routine, you're uncertain of what the results are going to be. Right now, I don't think Temple has really shown a whole lot of life out here.
No.
I mean, they haven't played with a great deal of enthusiasm. Bonnie's about hustled them on the boards. And I don't know if it's because John Chaney's not here or whatever it might be.
So the Bonnies with the lead now. Jason Ivey's pass picked off by McNeil. He was trying to hit McKee. Nelson Richards for Moore. Moore faked the shot. Now McNeil. To the left of the lane. Moore, no! It would have counted. But Moore put up the shot and was banged.
That's what Shandu McNeil does so very well. Penetrates in, dishes it off. Bonnies have had a lot of success in the last 4, 5, 6 minutes. There's the nice pass. Harry Moore's taking it up nice and strong inside. Bonnies really have had some success by getting it inside, making some things happen that way, as opposed to, again, trying to take all three-point shots.
Cunningham is back in the game, replacing Derek Battie, who just committed the foul, his first. That's 4 team fouls on Temple. Bonnies lead by 1 with 4:50 to go, and Moore at the line has his 8th point. He has 2 deuces, 1 tray, and now 1 of 1 from the line.
Harry Moore played very well the first game between the 2 teams down in Temple, and he's certainly coming off and playing very well again tonight.
Gets them both. He has 9, and the Bonnies lead by 3. There you see the situation and the scoreboard clock. Brunson for Temple. On the left, Ivey in a traffic jam, and McNeil almost had control on the far side.
Well, Temple is uncharacteristically running into some double-team traps right there. Then he makes a pass. McNeil almost makes the steal again.
Brunson, the shot clock down at 20 seconds now. McKee has it. Brunson behind a double screen.
Brunson has not gotten into the game at all. Here, Eddie Jones. Neither one have really done much so far. That's Brunson's first real good look at the basket.
He drew a foul earlier going against McNeil. That time he hits the field goal. And that makes it a 1-point game. Bonnie with the ball and the lead. Shandu McNeil. As we come down to 4:05 to play in the half. Nelson Richards, 17 on the shot clock yet. Now Shandu McNeil finds Vanderpool in that right corner. 10 on the shot clock. McNeil puts up a 17-footer. No, and the rebound stolen away, just plucked out of the air. George McGinnis-like by Jason Ivey.
Jason Ivey, one of the southern guys on this Temple team. John Chaney's gone south to Alabama and Georgia for 5 of the players.
Yeah, and another one from Florida as well.
Who did I shot
straight on by Eddie Jones.
Who did I just say had not been heard from? Eddie Jones and Rich Brunson. Both of them come back with big baskets. That's why this team is one of the top 10 teams in the country.
That a tray for Jones, giving him 6 points. Quackenbush going to come back in for the Bonnies. Temple up by 2. Vanderpool bluffs the 3, puts up the 2, and the rebound comes down to Eddie Jones at Temple.
When that shot goes up, though, that time Bonnie's had nobody on the offensive board.
Jones, another tray.
That's a pro NBA three right there.
Eddie Jones, all of a sudden, 9 points. He averages just over 20 to lead the Owls, and they lead the game, as you see, by 5 points.
It was just a quick 8-point spread. Now Bonnie's missed a couple of quickies. Temple looking to take advantage of it.
And showing a lack of patience on offense. Aaron McKee.
Poise by Temple. Senior, experienced players, guys that have been through it before. Don't get rattled.
Jones cut off on the baseline, still keeps it to McKee. His tray.
3 of them in a row. Bonnie's can't make a 3. Temple comes down and their big guns knock down 3 of them in a row.
And that's all McKee has hit, 3 trays. Yeah, all of a sudden, an 8-point differential. Harry Moore.
Bonnie's went from 3 up to 8 down very quickly.
Nelson Richards can't score. Battle for the rebound. Taken out. 2-on-1 created to McKee. He waits against McNeil. And that time on the fast break, he's going to get the deuce.
Jimmy Barron needs a timeout right here, I believe.
Yeah, he's down 10.
Yep.
Under 2 minutes to play. He takes the timeout with 1:55 left. Temple, what an explosion we have just witnessed, and you along with us. More in a moment from the Riley Center in Olean, New York on the Empire Sports Network.
All kids need someone to help them through tough times. That's why the Niagara Frontier Auto Dealers created the Children's Foundation. Their foundation is sponsoring a special event to benefit 5 local children's charities. For every car and truck sold from February 9th through February 28th, participating member dealers will donate $50 to one of these 5 charities designated by you, the customer. It's your chance.
So buy a car
and help our kids.
At Buffalo Brewing Company, we put a little bit of the old country into every beer we make. We import only the choicest hops, yeast, and barley malt from Germany and brew them in copper kettles. So when you pick up a bottle of Buffalo Lager, you'll find only 4 ingredients. No chemicals, no preservatives. Bring home the old country. Taste the all-natural, world-class hometown brew. Buffalo Lager and Buffalo Light. Real beer, the way it should be.
30-20, Temple with the advantage, and you see how the scoring run has gone. Yes, 13 zip in the last 2:55 to take a 10-point lead. Check out Pac-10 basketball action when the UCLA Bruins take on the Arizona State Sun Devils. That's live tomorrow night at 10 on Empire Sports Network. You're home for great college basketball action. Let's take a look now at the tail end of this run. Now this actually right in the middle of it. Eddie Jones hitting that 3 behind the screen. Now Brunson down to McKee in the 2-on-1, and McKee against McNeil. Yeah, that's the mismatch.
Yep.
So 1:55 left, and St. Bonaventure to play the ball in right in front of the scorers table.
Explosion by Temple really puts Bonaventure in the corner right now. Bonnie's has to go back into getting the good shots. Don't just settle for the quick 3. Take your time, run the clock some, try to get it inside, and get it to that man right there, number 00.
Quackenbush, and yes, showing a lot more patience right now than they had the last several trips. Shandu McNeil throws up the runner, spins out on him, and a struggle and a tie-up for the rebound. They look for the alternate possession and see that it's Temple's ball.
You know, that's a nice penetrating move again by McNeil, but you're putting an awful lot of weight on a freshman's shoulders, and a small freshman at that, to come in and try to score over all these big people. Ball has to get to Harry Moore. He's going to have to do something once he gets it.
Eddie Jones matched with Harry Moore here. And they have Brunson on the right of the lane against McNeil.
Yep, look at the post up. They're going to have to get some help here quickly because he's just going to turn and shoot right over the top of McNeil.
Quackenbush doesn't know what to do, then reaching over Vanderpool and saved inbounds to McNeil.
Terrific defensive play again by David Vanderpool.
He's made 2 very big ones tonight, taking it out of the paint or just on the right block.
Bonnies have played very well on the defensive end. They just have to be a little more patient offensively.
Shandu McNeil, Harry Moore. Now Vanderpool puts up the tray, hit it out, Cunningham the rebound. And the Bonnies have taken tray upon tray upon tray.
Temple looking to take it down here with 38 seconds to go. 10-second call on the out of bounds.
Yep.
Wow. You know what happened is that Rich Brunson was listening to Jim Maloney
rather than paying attention. Yeah.
Giving him some advice on what to do at the end, and he forgot what the 10-second count was into effect. So looks like Bonnie's will probably get the last opportunity of the half with a 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
33 seconds to go now in the half. Bonnie's trailing by 10.
It's really not that dark in the gym here. No, that's
yeah. There
okay,
we go.
There we go.
Well, no rain delays tonight now.
No.
Mance outside to McNeil.
I'm sure Bonnie's will want to sit on this thing for the last one to try to get it down to 8 or 7 at the half. Oh, Shandu.
With 15 seconds. Shandu McNeil makes liars of us all.
Oh, to be a freshman again and take that kind of a shot. He's lucky he made it.
Brunson against McNeil with 2. Short Cunningham, and time had run out in the half. So the Bonnies did withstand that 13-0 run and got the last 3.
They got what they wanted with Shandu's 3. Temple comes up empty-handed on their last trip.
30-23 our halftime score. Stay tuned. We have a lot to come your way at the half from the Riley Center in Olean on the Empire Sports Network.
Build your own Buffalo Sabres lineup by filling up exclusively at NOCO Express shops all through March. Collect trading card strips of Sabre stars, past and present, free with a purchase of 8 gallons or more at any NOCO location. Maximum 1 per purchase. There are 4 card strips of Sabres, including Hall of Famers Gilles Perreault, Danny Gare, and Jim Schoenfeld, and all of today's superstars. A new strip every week, March only. Collect them all by gassing up or buy for $2.99 a strip while supplies last. You gotta go NOCO, a nice place to conveniently shop.
Eastern Hills Mall, Q102, and Empire Sports Network want to show you how to turn your mall receipts into thousands of dollars in valuable prizes in the Eastern Hills Mall Frequent Shopper Program. Visit the Prize Center in the mall center concourse for details. Hi, this is Q102's Rob Lucas. Join me on the first Saturday of each month from 2 to 6 p.m. That's when we'll do a live broadcast from Eastern Hills Mall and announce that month's Frequent Shopper Prize Pack winners. Be a winner. Be a frequent shopper at Eastern Hills Mall.
If you're looking for job options and opportunities in today's tough economy, you need the nation's #1 job search publication, the National Business Employment Weekly, the only publication that updates you weekly on top jobs available regionally and nationwide. All kinds of jobs, professional, managerial, technical. And you'll learn how to land one of those jobs by improving the way you write your resume and the way you interview. You'll learn new strategies for earning a promotion and negotiating a raise. And twice a month, you'll get the special Franchises and Business Opportunities section, the National Business Employment Weekly, at your newsstand now. Or call now and get 8 job-packed issues delivered for just $35. Also get absolutely free the Job Search Guide, a collection of the best ideas to help you land a job. Call 800-341-2222. That's 800-341-2222. The National Business Employment Weekly. If you're not looking here, you're hardly looking.
A 13-3 run by Temple has them up by 7 at the half. Aaron McKee unofficially 11 points. Eddie Jones with 9 for Temple. Harry Moore leading the way with for the Bonnies with 9. Well, the guy who is in his second year now coaching at his alma mater is Jim Barron here with the Bonnies, gunning tonight for his 4th Atlantic 10 victory. And earlier, Don McLean had the chance to talk with Coach Jim.
Hi, everyone. I had an opportunity before tonight's ball game to sit down on St. Bonaventure's bench with the coach in a familiar position, Jim Barron. And Jim, you're sitting in a familiar position, but John Chaney won't be sitting on his bench tonight. And will that have an effect on Temple?
Well, I think, it's an unfortunate incident. John is a great coach and has done an outstanding job with the Temple program and his team. And I'm sure it'll have somewhat of an effect, but I think that they have the quality of upperclassmen that they know what they have to do, and the assistant coaches have been around a long, long time, and they've done an outstanding job with Coach Chaney. So I don't think it'll have as much effect as people would think. Jim, tell me a little bit about the season. Give me an assessment of the season so far. I know there's probably
4 games that I can think of right offhand: the Navy game, Canisius game, St. Joe's at St. Joe's, and the Duquesne game last Saturday, you'd really like to have back?
Well, I tell you what, Don, I don't get too caught up of what we didn't do. I get caught up of what we did do, and all I know is that, you know, we had the opportunity to beat 2 out of 3 top 25 programs this year, along with beating a team like Notre Dame and Northern Iowa, and I thought those were outstanding wins. I think when you're trying to get back credibility and respectability, I think a big part of that is consistency, and that's something that we have to continue to do as a basketball team. But you just have to continue to get better and look at what you do have and what's in front of you to improve as a basketball team and as a basketball program.
Jim, I know very well that there are several aspects of this team that the people just love, and they've shown it by showing up here, and that is that they're always in the ball game.
Well, you know, the guys have worked extremely hard, and they've done a lot of good things together. And, I've only been with these guys for a year and a half, and it takes time to get to know them, to get them to gel, and to get to know their emotions, their highs and their lows. And sometimes people don't understand that. I just had to do that the last 5 years before I came here at St. Francis, where you have to know these guys' emotions, you have to know their strengths and their weaknesses, and try to bring out the most in them, and then to get them to gel as a basketball team. And, it takes time to do that, and them for also to get to know me as a player and as a coach and as a former player. It just takes time to put in the ingredients necessary for them to be successful as student athletes.
Jim, another thing that's very important in the program, and that is recruiting. And I wondered, over the years that I've been associated with St. Bonaventure basketball, a lot of times you hear kids saying, "Oh, I came from a city and I came down here, it's a small place." Do me a favor. So let's say I'm a recruit, and you're really going to have to stretch your imagination to do that. But let's say I'm 6'10" and I'm from a city. How do you talk to a kid and try and convince him to come to St. Bonaventure?
Well, I think you got a couple of things that are very, very important. I think you got a quality education, and I think the size of the school, the caring community, I think those are all positives that we sell regarding the St. Bonaventure program. Being a student athlete myself, I really have it, and I've really felt the experience of going through that situation, and you can really project that when you're going out and speaking. I think that being in the Atlantic 10 is a tremendously positive, motivating force to youngsters that are out there. They also want to know about the type of facility that you're playing. What have you done lately? And that's been, to try to bridge the gap a little bit for us here. It takes time to say, listen, we're bringing it back, and we're bringing it back with excitement. And I think that the wins that we had this year against the top 25 teams have really given us tremendous credibility out there in the basketball world. And now bringing the whole thing together as far as the student athlete goes, we have a quality product to sell.
One final question. How many 7-footers are coming in next year?
Well, I don't get caught up in the size as opposed to the quality of kid and the quality of size. There's a lot of big, there's not too many. First of all, there's not too many out there.
That's right. Jimmy, I'd like to go on further. I know you would too, but we're out of time. Yeah. Thanks very much for taking time out on game day. I know how much that means to you, and it means a great deal to us.
It's good talking to you, Don.
Jim Barron, the head coach of basketball at St. Bonaventure University. This is the Empire Sports Network.
Convenient. Our name says it all. With more than 4,000 items to choose from, Convenient Food Marts are the bigger, brighter, and better choice for food, snacks, milk, soft drinks, beer, party supplies, and more. Subs and More, located in Convenient Food Mart, where your giant subs and sandwiches are made to order. Each Convenient Food Mart is individually owned and operated with a personal touch. 54 convenient locations, 4,000 items to choose from. Open convenient hours. We're Convenient Food Mart. Our name says it all.
To come to Fascinations and see why Buffalo is one of the best sports towns around. Fascinations is inviting you down Sunday for the Sunday Sabres Shootout. We'll challenge you to snap it through the goalie's pie hole to win great prizes, including Buffalo Sabres tickets. We'll have winners all Sunday long. And if the Sabres are playing that night, stay at Fascinations for the game and enjoy $1 bar drinks and more great prizes. That's the Sunday Sabres Shootout at Fascinations, Union and French Roads in the Garden Village Plaza, Cheektowaga.
Well, if you're a Western New York resident and you like basketball, you've heard about the Little Three. It has a great tradition, And we have some great stories to tell about the Little Three with some former players and coaches.
St. Bonaventure University has a long history of great college basketball teams. One of Bona's most famous coaches was Eddie Donovan. Eddie coached Bona from 1954 through 1961. And here you see his 1960 NIT squad defeat Niagara behind Tom and Sam Stitt. When you talk about great teams, you have to talk about the 1970 Final Four squad led by Bob Lanier. The team went 25-3 and finished 4th in the nation. Fred Handler was an assistant to head coach Larry Weese, and he talks about how the Little Three rivalry started for a freshman named Bob Lanier.
During their freshman year, in those days we still had freshman team, and it took them a while to get into the spirit, but once the freshmen played against Canisius freshmen, Niagara freshmen, they got the message. They knew this was what it was all about.
The Little Three rivaled any conference in the nation at the time. Just ask Bob Lanier.
This Little Three was the most fascinating experience. I don't think that you could have a better experience. You know, you look at the SEC, the ACC, the Big East, all that. The Little Three was like that 20 years ago. They're like that now, but we were like that 20 years ago. You come down here in the auditorium and play, or play up at St. Bonaventure University, you couldn't get any better than that.
Bob Sassone was an assistant to head coach Jim Saddlein on the 1977 NIT championship team, and he talks about the pressure of a Little Three game.
I still think there's that pressure because we're in Western New York, and Niagara, Canisius, and Bonnie's play each other, and I'm glad we're playing each other twice again because the people in Western New York think basketball begins with the Little Three. And I hope that they continue successfully, and I hope Bonaventure gets back on a trail because it is a great thing. And I think back to when Frank Layden was coaching there, and they had Calvin Murphy, and we had Bob Lanier, and we never lost to them when they had Calvin, but we had some great games against them.
Today, Bonaventure is coached by Jim Barron. Jim's team is in one of the toughest conferences in the nation. He talks about how the Little Three rivalry has changed because of conference play, but it is still important.
I do think that when you are in conferences, it really it dissipates rivalries from the standpoint that you're playing against so many other teams and other opponents. But I think that this tradition goes way, way back, and I think you know, it has to be reminded to the players of how strong of a rivalry it is. And I know for myself, being back here, it is important games for us.
Fred Handler not only believes in the future of the Little Three, but can also see a reemergence.
I think so. I think the alums, not just the older alums, but I think as the students graduate now from the three schools, I think they feel that this is important. It's bragging rights for particularly Western New York, so I think it'll continue.
St. Bonaventure basketball has a long history of excellent basketball teams. Head coach Jim Barron, with help from players like Harry Moore, will continue that tradition.
The score here at halftime is Temple 30, St. Bonaventure 23. We'll be back with halftime stats in just a moment on the Empire Sports Network.
If you're looking for new car and truck financing or leasing that's quick, convenient, and flexible, you're on the right road. Just ask for Ford Credit, the key to quality.
To Lacey Ford and dare to compare savings, selection, and service. Visit their showroom and see the latest selection of 94 Ford cars and trucks. There's one waiting for you.
Ford Credit, the key to quality at your local Ford dealer.
DeLacy Ford, 5229 Broadway in Lancaster.
Pete Weber with Jim Saddlein and Don McLean. Temple with the 7-point advantage at the half. What a big run they went off to, a 13-0 burst. Let's look at some first half highlights. First of all, Aaron McKee with this three-pointer from the left side. McKee hitting a total of 3 trays in the opening half. Then, Jim, you were talking about hustle on defense. Here's a good example, David Vanderpool.
Well, David Vanderpool is an excellent defensive player. Tips it away. Bonnies go off on a fast break.
Then Vanderpool, also first half action, getting the ball to Harry Moore for the layup.
Nice cross-court pass. Harry Moore is able to finish it off, but Bonnie's didn't do enough of that.
Quiet a long time in the first half. Eddie Jones, but not here. Yes, an NBA three-point bucket that he hit right there, NBA distance. As Jones had 2 3-pointers in the first half. Taking a look at the stats as the Bonnies get in their warm-up shots to the second half. And yeah, they got to warm up the shooting quite a bit. There you see the shooting percentage. 21.9. And look at that. The Bonnies take twice as many trays as does Temple, and Temple makes 2 times as many as St. Bonaventure does. A huge difference right there.
But you know what? Looking at the stats, though, the turnover figure is somewhat of an upset. Bonnies only have 4 turnovers in the first half. Temple has 7. You'd think it would be switched around, but Bonnies are in the game because they're making their free throws. They're rebounding the ball pretty well overall, and they're not throwing the ball away. They've got to make some shots, or Temple's going to run away.
So the leading scorers, Aaron McKee with 11. He is 4 of 8 from the floor and 3 of 3 from three-point range. And then Eddie Jones with a total of 9 points so far. St. Bonaventure, Harry Moore with 9 points, an outstanding first half, 3 of 6 from the floor, 2 of 2 from the stripe, and then Shandu McNeil and David Vanderpool, each with 5. Some other scores now tonight. First half, Boston College leading at Miami, 35-28. Are you sitting down? We hope. Yes, Niagara, a 10-point lead over Canisius at the odd. Here, Bonnies trail by 7. We'll be back with second half action in just a moment from the Riley Center on the Empire Sports Network.
If you're looking for job options and opportunities in today's tough economy, you need the nation's #1 job search publication, the National Business Employment Weekly, the only publication that updates you weekly on top jobs available regionally and nationwide. All kinds of jobs, professional, managerial, technical. And you'll learn how to land one of those jobs by improving the way you write your resume and the way you interview. You'll learn new strategies for earning a promotion and negotiating a raise. And twice a month, you'll get the special Franchises and Business Opportunities section, the National Business Employment Weekly, at your newsstand now, or call now and get 8 job-packed issues delivered for just $35. Also get absolutely free the Job Search Guide, a collection of the best ideas to help you land a job. Call 800-341-2222. That's 800-341-2222. The National Business Employment Weekly. If you're not looking here, you're hardly looking.
McKee was just trying to hustle referee Ted Valentine to see if they could get Temple to have the ball out of bounds to start this second half.
Well, I'll tell you who's going to have to hustle a little bit more in the second half is William Cunningham. He really hasn't done anything in the first half to speak of, all zeros across, and that's really why he's not playing a whole lot.
So Bono with the ball starting the second half, down by 7 points. Shandu McNeil hit a tray at the end of the half. Here now Vanderpool had to move in position to get the pass. Goes the hole. Cunningham trying to get active and hacks him.
Well, he was active. He went over and protected the basket. Nice drive by David Vanderpool. Shields him with the left arm. Goes to the basket. Let's take a look here. He goes hard to the hole. Going to get that call every time, though, probably.
So Vanderpool, 3 of 3 from the line so far. Make it 4 of 4.
This is something that I'm sure Jim Maloney had talked to his Owls about it at the halftime break, is that don't let Bonaventure start breathing again here.
Yeah.
Let's try to put the knockout punch in immediately so that it's not coming down to the last 3 or 4 minutes, and then they throw up a couple lucky ones and who knows what's happened.
Jones outside now again. Temple, 5 of 7, 3-point range in that first half. So they have to be watched very carefully. Brunson with Shandu McNeil defending. Now Jones, Vanderpool the match in the lane. Throws it up over the shoulder. No, Cunningham got the rebound flat-footed. Not called for walking and does draw the foul.
Well, we've seen Cunningham on both ends of the floor now start to get involved a little bit. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he was reminded of that at the halftime. Here's the pass inside. Jeff Quackenbush really has to get a body on him early, though. The shot went up. Quackenbush turned and went to the defensive board as opposed to just getting a body on Cunningham.
Cunningham's first free throw is good. That's his first point of the game. 7 points again, the lead now after Vanderpool was 1 of 2 from the stripe. Cunningham was shot at making it 8, and he does. 40 seconds gone in the second half. Shandu McNeil gives it to Garland Mance. Across to Quackenbush. Back to McNeil. He's going to take another tray. He's hit 2 in a row. 1 to end the half, and this one here.
Well, if anybody's going to be shooting the threes, might as well be Shandu. He's 1 for 1 the first half. Now he's 2 for 2. Get you back in a hurry also. Make a couple of those.
However, coaches, again, don't want to see their teams become overly reliant on that part of the offense.
Garland Mance is...
Eddie Jones popped out of a stack on the left to the right side. Now Brunson, 7 on the shot clock. Brunson tied up 4 on the shot clock. Battie, no. And it was Harry Moore knocking it away and out of bounds as he went over the back of Cunningham.
I'm not so sure Derek Battie, if that's his range, taking it from the top. He's not a McKee and Jones type shooter.
No, he isn't. McKee hands off to Brunson as they pack either side of the lane. Vanderpool slipped, so Jones gets the pass. Air ball. McKee takes it away from Mance on the reverse. No. Battie is fouled by Quackenbush, coming over to meet him very quickly.
Great foul by Jeff Quackenbush right there, though. Not to give Derek Battie the easy one.
Let's watch that again. All that action underneath. Now Battie sort of gathered himself in before going up.
That's what the coach tells you, though. He said, hey, don't give him a berry. Make sure we're up on top.
The foul was the second by Quackenbush, and the free throw missed by Battie.
Temple, not a good free throw shooting team overall, only shooting at a 64% clip. So not a bad idea to foul, especially Cunningham, Battie, Jason Ivey, and so on.
The guys who aren't the prime components of that offense. Both miss, and here's Shandu McNeil.
You don't want to foul Aaron McKee because he is the #1 foul shooter in the Atlantic 10.
Bonnie's down by 5. 2 minutes gone in the second half.
Temple is really not on top of their game here. They're not sharp in any way at all, and they're really giving Bonaventure a chance to get back into this.
Now that pass tipped by Brunson, taken in by McKee. Brunson.
They can do that, though. They can play defense as well as anybody in the country.
Jones had a momentary screen behind Cunningham. Here's Brunson's tray. Nope. Harry Moore was fouled as he gathered in that rebound.
Harry Moore's doing an outstanding job on both boards.
Derek Battie commits his second foul. And again, Bonnie's down by 5 as they head to the front court. Boston is called out by Shandu McNeil.
Well, we'll see what they're looking to do on it.
Tipped out by McKee.
2 turnovers in a row. Garland Mance is involved in both, and that's a disappointment, I think.
Jason Ivey replaces Derek Battie for Temple.
I think Temple is playing with fire somewhat, though, in the fact that they've had some opportunities maybe to put Bonnie's away in the first half and now maybe in the second half and haven't been able to do it. So they've got to raise the level of their game up. They're certainly capable of doing that. We saw that in the first half.
They are quite capable of doing so, but they've been in a bit of a rut recently. Losing 2 of 3.
Well, they're not a big-time scoring team. They were 8th in the league in scoring, only averaging about 64 or 5 points a game.
McKee, a 2-point try. Quackenbush gathers the rebound out in front of him.
Now they've gone cold from the 3-point line. Second half.
McNeil wanted to go in that lane. Now outside Mance. He gets the 3-pointer. Garland Mance with 5, and the Bonnies trail by 2.
Bonnies knock a couple threes down here early.
Derek Battie was going to report into the game to Jim Saddlein. We moved him down further.
I said, go right ahead, Derek. As far as I'm concerned, you can go in the game right now.
Brunson, that matchup against McNeil, but McNeil, they keep him outside. Here's Jones. Jones got a little bit of daylight on Vanderpool and score it.
Big time shot by Eddie Jones as David Vanderpool is right in his face and he goes up over the top. And good help by Jeff Queckenbush on the same play.
Keep in mind, Temple had to come up with a 13-0 run to take the lead in this game. They did that in the later stages of the first half.
You can see Bonaventure getting some confidence here, too. Garland Mance lucky again.
Yeah. McNeil's try. Heel the iron and pulled down by Ivy.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Temple try to put a little more pressure on Bonaventure, too. Maybe some full court. They do that periodically and when they feel as though they need a jump start.
Shelton waiting to come in for the Bonnies. Jones, another three.
Got lucky there.
Ivy and Mance battle for the rebound. Whose ball is it going to be? Bonnies. 15:20 to go in regulation. The substitutions come in. Battie in for Cunningham. And a timeout taken. A 4-point game. It was 7 points at the half. Temple with the lead. They're still in front. And we'll return with more second half action on the Empire Sports Network.
Build your own Buffalo Sabres lineup by filling up exclusively at NOCO Express shops all through March. Collect trading card strips of Sabre stars, past and present, free with a purchase of 8 gallons or more at any NOCO location. Maximum 1 per purchase. There are 4 card strips of Sabres, including Hall of Famers Gilles Perreault, Danny Gare, and Jim Schoenfeld, and all of today's superstars. A new strip every week, March only. Collect them all by gassing up or buy for $2.99 a strip while supplies last. You gotta go NOCO, a nice place to conveniently shop.
Eastern Hills Mall, Q102, and Empire Sports Network want to show you how to turn your mall receipts into thousands of dollars in valuable prizes in the Eastern Hills Mall Frequent Shopper Program. Visit the Prize Center in the Mall Center Concourse for details. Hi, this is Q102's Rob Lucas. Join me on the first Saturday of each month from 2 to 6 p.m. That's when we'll do a live broadcast from Eastern Hills Mall and announce that month's Frequent Shopper Prize Pack winners. Be a winner. Be a frequent shopper at Eastern Hills Mall.
We welcome our viewers not only on the Empire Network from the Riley Center tonight, but also those watching on Prism in Philadelphia. Pete Weber along with Jim Sadlin and Don McLean. And tonight's attendance, yes, 5,817 in this 6,000-seat building. Coming up next as we take a look at the schedules for both sides. Temple going to be taking on Louisville in Orlando on Sunday, then at Duquesne, home against UMass. That coming up 1 week from tomorrow, and then at Duke to finish out the regular season before the conference tournament at the Palestra. Meantime, St. Bonaventure heading to the road Friday night at George Washington. Rutgers coming up here, then at Duquesne, Rhode Island here, and then finishing up very quickly the home-and-home series with Rutgers before the conference tournament.
Yeah, Bonnies have some games they can win right there. Temple, John Chaney never ducks anybody. They play perennially the toughest, one of the 2 or 3 toughest schedules in the country. They still have Duke left. They have Mass. I mean, they have some Bears left.
Vanderpool back in the lane now, and Mance scores it. Nice feed from Vanderpool, and Mance now has 7.
Good call by Jim Barron after the timeout. Trying to go cross-court with some passes and taking it inside. You can see Bonnie's gaining a little confidence here. And as we mentioned before, the longer they hang in the game.
McKee, bang. That tray, was that? Yeah, that was almost from the second row.
That's what Aaron McKee's probably saying too. Hey, the longer we let these guys hang in, just get me the ball. Here comes the trap.
McKee with 14 points now. Cross to Mance. Harry Moore in the corner. Shandu McNeil. Only 15 seconds off the shot clock. Cross to Mance. Now McNeil. McKee came out to meet him. Here's Vanderpool's 3. And brought down home. The bounce came out just right for Mance to follow up with the tomahawk.
Well, Bonnies are getting an awful lot of good looks at the basket. And that time Garland Mance rams it down. Crowd into the game.
Brunson lost it going to the hole. Moore's pass stolen by Jones. 2-on-0 with Brunson. And
oh, my goodness.
Fouled on and got tomahawk try himself.
I don't know about the call. I don't know about the call here. I think he got hurt just by going to the basket.
Yeah.
Harry Moore certainly didn't try to do anything on that one.
Intentional foul is the call.
That could be a huge turnaround here as Harry Moore made a nice block at the other end. If we get a chance to see it, there's the foul. Harry Moore probably should have given the ball up earlier, but Jones made a terrific steal. One of the best stealers in the league.
That was an incredible play.
Yep. And then the foul is committed by Harry Moore.
So with
Mance comes in and takes that one down, the previous offensive play. Harry Moore
Jones missed his first and hits his second.
Harry Moore, of course, is good buddies with all the Philadelphia guys, being from Philadelphia himself, and this could be an unbelievable change and turn of events right here.
So on the intentional foul, Temple gets it back in.
Bonnie's had the ball, looking to go down, less than 3.
Well, McKee's missed into the hands of McNeil.
Yep.
Whipped it down for Shelton, and he's fouled.
No easy ones there. Temple said, no, you're not taking it in and getting a layup there. Jimmy Barron, of course, wants the intentional. It's a change in the philosophy of the intentional fouls. We see the nice pass by Shandu. And the block.
The foul goes against Jason Ivey, his second, and sends Shelton to the line. He did not score in the first half.
But as I mentioned, there's a change in the rule on the intentional foul. It doesn't have to be what they say intentional. It just can be a hard foul.
Yes.
A hard foul can be considered an intentional foul. I'm sure that's what they called on Harry Moore.
That puts even more on the shoulders of the officials. Shelton gets them both and makes it a 3-point game again.
Bonnies are really playing very, very well here. Temple seems to be playing well enough just to keep ahead of the game. That's a dangerous situation to be in.
Especially on the road.
Yep. I don't think Shandu McNeil is playing against Darren McKee over here. I don't think that they want that matchup. The Bonnies don't.
And he posts against him and gives it to Petit. And Petit shot, offensive foul. Derek Petit.
Nice play by Sidney Shelton as he draws the charge.
Petit has 3 personal fouls with 13:20 to play.
That's what Jim Maloney is saying here. We see it again as he just put his shoulder down and charged through. Jim Maloney said, just take the jump shot over the top. You don't need to get the extra step.
McKee popped out that middle for a moment just to threaten Shandu McNeil.
Shandu McNeil is playing absolutely beautiful basketball here this evening. Doesn't look like a freshman out there. Physically he does.
Yeah.
But he certainly doesn't the other way.
Simply stolen away by Jones out of the hands of Vanderpool, trying to go down on the right block.
Eddie Jones, time for him to go to work. Bang.
A leaner off balance and hits a shot like that. He has 14.
Eddie Jones is second in the league in steals. Brunson first, McKee fourth. Not bad.
Garland Mance in the lane, puts up the runner. No, McKee the rebound. A tangle up in the backcourt. Now to Jones. Slipped a little, heads inside and lays it up and over. Made it look easy, and it was not, believe me.
Eddie Jones is Mr. Smooth.
Quackenbush going to come back in for the Bonnies. 16 points for Eddie Jones.
Every time the Bonnies try to up the tempo somewhat and take a quick shot, they've gotten in trouble.
Barrymore, Vanderpool. There's McNeil. McKee all over him. Remember, McKee is not just good offensively, but he's put pressure on defensively as well. Here's more for the tray. Air ball, McKee has it.
We talk about Temple selectively running. Here's another opportunity right here.
Brunson goes in, draws the foul on Vanderpool, and stops the clock with 8:16 gone in the half.
You know, you just get the feeling that Temple can turn it on and off whenever they want to. I mean, that's the mark of a great basketball team. It's not what coaches like to see, but that's the mark of a great basketball team. And when they feel threatened, they just raise it up a notch, and then you see what happened. They go into another roll here.
When Quackenbush came in, Harry Moore started at the sideline. Instead, Quackenbush in for Shelton.
See Jimmy Maloney, and here's Temple's famous trick of letting Rick Brunson shoot by himself down there and taking everybody else down to the other end. But Jimmy Maloney's no stranger to the Riley Center. He came down and brought his Niagara teams 3 or 4 years down here, and of course has been here many, many years as John Chaney's assistant.
So it's a 9-point lead now for Temple. It was 7 at the half. And a timeout for us and for you on the Empire Sports Network.
It consumes your every waking moment. After all, this is an irresistible combination. It's a cheese lover's dream. With shredded cheddar cheese, sliced Swiss, and a Parmesan cheese sauce. It's Arby's $1.99 triple cheese melt sub, a cheese lover's dream. 3 cheeses smothering Arby's roast beef on a freshly toasted sub roll. You're completely powerless. Enjoy the triple cheese melt sub, only $1.99 and only at Arby's.
The winter sports capital of the world will be the site for the 1994 ECAC Division I Ice Hockey Championship as the top 4 teams meet in Lake Placid, New York to crown a champion the weekend of March 18th and 19th. See future stars of the NHL compete while enjoying all the beauty and activity that the Olympic Village in Lake Placid has to offer. Single session tickets are available for $18, or you can catch all 4 games for just $34. For more information, call the Olympic Center box office at 518-523-3330 or your nearest Ticketmaster representative.
Temple has outscored St. Bonaventure 15-13 in the second half and 11-4 for the last 3 minutes and 16 seconds. That's how they've gotten a 9-point lead at the Riley Center. We invite you to stay tuned for more college basketball as the Missouri Tigers take on the Iowa State Cyclones. That's tonight at 10, right here on Empire Sports Network.
You know, when we look at Jim Barron trying to tell his team what to look for offensively, you know coming in that you're not going to get a bundle of points against this Temple team. Their defense is too solid, get too much experience. You have to almost make every possession count. They did a great job with that in the first half, only having 4 turnovers. They've slid a little bit here in the second half. You can't make mistakes against a team of this caliber.
And again, as you were talking your pregame comments, the Bonnies can't count on being able to hit those outside shots.
Well, they can probably count on not hitting those outside shots based on statistics.
Shandu McNeil outside for the Bonnies to Harry Moore. Mance wheels it to Quackenbush to Vanderpool in turn. Mance found an alley for that pass to Moore, and nothing was called on that.
Those are the kind you have to convert, though. Nice movement by Bonnies. Harry Moore gets not an easy one, but he gets one inside. They can't get it to go down.
Eddie Jones to McKee. Brunson as we come down to 11 minutes remaining.
This is danger time for Bonnies right here, too, and that Temple really looking to put the knockout blow in.
Petit turns and scores.
That's exactly what Jim Maloney was saying before. Derek Petit, there's no reason for you to put your head down, lower your shoulder, and go through people. Turn, shoot the ball over the top, you've got a good touch.
An 11-point lead for Temple. Quackenbush sees Mance. Vanderpool, well, McNeil's going to take another tray, and he hits it.
Tell you what, Shandu McNeil has really kept this team alive, especially in the second half.
He has 11 points tonight. Brunson not being called rather for carrying.
Jim Barron wanted a foul on the push-off. Sweet.
Jones
Eddie
underneath.
Jones.
He has 18. Ryan Glidden waiting to come in for the Bonnies.
Ryan Glidden, a 3-point shooter out of Indiana. I'm sure that's what Jim Barron is thinking right now. It's a tough spot, though, to put a freshman into.
Especially when he didn't play in the first half. Vanderpool can't score in the drive. So 2 good shots the Bonnies have not been able to convert on consecutive trips down.
As we mentioned, those are the opportunities you can't lose against this type of a team.
Bonnies almost with the steal. McKee recovers. Hit on Vanderpool. How smooth is that? Doesn't score on it, and it comes back to Ivy off his toes and out of bounds. Glidden comes in for the Bonnies with 9:29 to play. He will replace Garland Mance, and Shelton comes in for Quackenbush. Ryan Glidden. There you see Mance taking his seat on the bench.
Jim Barron searching for some answers here. They've had a couple good trips down the court. They just haven't been able to convert it.
Shandu McNeil. Here's Harry Moore. Now Glidden just in the game. Vanderpool tries the tray. In and out. Glidden gets the rebound of the three-point miss and takes it back out there. Vanderpool drives to the hole and lays it in.
That's where David Vanderpool is so impressive, taking it to the goal instead of taking the outside shot. Got great size for a wing player or for a guard, and he knows how to play around the basket. Tough match right here for Ryan Glidden as McKee's just going to try to take him to school early. Good thing about McKee and Jones and Brunson, too, is that they're really able to get their own shots off.
Like that one by Brunson.
Yep.
The three-pointer giving him 9 and putting Temple up 11.
They can create their own shots at any time.
Moore's tray. Bat on the boards and taken down by McKee. They wanted a walk call here at the Riley Center on that. Now Jones three-point try. Whoa, what a brick that was. Woo! Shelton the rebound.
That's what Mark Macon used to do once in a while. He'd come in and make 2 or 3 threes, then he'd throw an air ball.
Yeah, they better check the backboard, make sure it's okay.
Guess what? Eddie Jones won't be gun shy the next time.
Oh, no. No, he'll go ahead and take it.
He's going to let it rip. Such a great player, and great players always do that.
Harry Moore, a two-pointer. His first points of the second half. So Harry Moore went over 12 minutes without scoring in the second half. And a big part of Temple's success and putting the pedal to the metal here.
7+ remaining here. Bonnie's still within striking distance, only down 9.
McKee in on Glidden, ball kicked outside to Jones. Jones, those eel-like moves to the right side. He has 20.
He is a sweet player. Certainly going to be in the running for Player of the Year in the Atlantic 10. He and Lou Rowe out of Massachusetts and Harry Moore.
Aaron McKee.
Aaron McKee, definitely. Derek Alston from Duquesne. That's probably going to look like your all-league team.
Glidden's bounce pass. Beautiful anticipation by Jones, but saved again by McNeil. Another tray. Well, he can miss. And Batiste can't handle it. Still a battle. Ball free, taken by Vanderpool.
Boy, Bonaventure's really played hard tonight. You have to question your shot selection sometimes, but they've played extremely hard and got to every loose ball.
Vanderpool called for fouling McKee. That's Vanderpool's third. And we have a timeout with 6:40 to go in the half. Temple leading St. Bonaventure by 11. We'll return in just a moment on the Empire Sports Network.
He shoots, he scores! That's right, it's time to come to Fascinations and see why Buffalo is one of the best sports towns around. Fascinations is inviting you down Sunday for the Sunday Sabres Shootout. We'll challenge you to snap it through the goalie's pie hole to win great prizes, including Buffalo Sabres tickets. We'll have winners all Sunday long. And if the Sabres are playing that night, stay at Fascinations for the game and enjoy $1 bar drinks and more great prizes. That's the Sunday Sabres Shootout at Fascinations, Union and French Roads in the Garden Village Plaza, Chickawaga.
Convenient. Our name says it all. With more than 4,000 items to choose from, convenient food marts are the bigger, brighter, and better choice for food, snacks, milk, soft drinks, beer, party supplies, and more. Subs and More, located in Convenient Food Mart, where your giant subs and sandwiches are made to order. Each Convenient Food Mart is individually owned and operated with a personal touch. 54 convenient locations, 4,000 items to choose from, open convenient hours. We're Convenient Food Mart. Our name says it all.
Jim Maloney in that Temple huddle again. Coach John Chaney serving his one-game suspension. And yes, the stats do tell. They do tell that Temple has been shooting a lot better than St. Bonaventure has here tonight. Don't miss your chance to talk college basketball and round ball wrap. Jim Saddlin will be in the studio with Bob Kaczynski taking your calls. Thursday nights at 7 only on Empire Sports Network. Do not miss it. Jack Armstrong of Niagara will be the guest tomorrow night. And he had a 10-point lead on Canisius last report we had in the first half. There's the winner of the Bob Lanier look-alike contest at the Riley Center tonight.
I think the crowd is fooled. I think they believe it's actually the big dauber, Bob Lanier there, and it really isn't. So
he's been signing a lot of autographs, though, and lowering the value of some trading cards, I'm certain.
He's a big man, though. I don't know who it is, but he is a big man.
They'll know when they check out his feet.
Yep.
Temple up by 11.
6.5 left. big time for Bonnie's right now to try to see if they can hang in this one.
McKee
and Moore, two teammates.
Yeah. In and out. Battle for the rebound, and it's going to go over to St. Bonaventure. Nelson Richards in for the Bonnies. Ryan Glenn will head to the side.
These Temple Owls go play against Louisville down in Florida Saturday. So they go to a tough one with Clifford Rozier, who's one of the top players in the country.
Well, it's better than playing at Freedom Hall. They'll be in Orlando.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so.
Jeff Quackenbush in the game, too, for Shelton. So Shandu McNeil.
Nelson Richards for the first time after going an 0-for in the first half, 0-for-5, with a lot of good looks. Maybe it's time for him to knock a few down.
Cross for Quackenbush. Mance. Nope. Harry Moore fading back. Now it's short. Battle for it again. Nelson Richards stepped on the sideline when trying to save it.
Good effort by Nelson Richards. Harry Moore really all over the offensive board. Doing a terrific job. It's just that every time he gets the ball, there's 2 or 3 people on him, as we see right there. Nelson tries to run it down, almost gets there.
Goes just a little long.
Yep.
And the turnover. Back to the live action to the Bonnies.
Derek Petit gets caught moving screen on the inside.
That's his 4th foul, so Cunningham will come in and take his slot.
Derek Petit has been very effective in the second half. Big, strong guy. Only a sophomore.
Yeah, 6'9", 222 pounds, heading to the side.
Not happy with that call, though.
Bonnies get Vanderpool back in. He takes over for Nelson Richards on the floor.
What if John Chaney's watching the game tonight? It was picked up, I think, in Philadelphia by Sports Channel.
Indeed it was. Oh, a brick by Quackenbush. And battle for the rebound, and on the jump, alternate possession goes to Temple.
It's probably the first time that John Chaney has actually watched one of his teams perform in person without him being on the bench.
So he's not watching videotape.
No, he's probably watching the game.
And again, welcome to all viewers in the Philadelphia area tonight. Regular Empire Sports crew here, Western New York. Pete Weber along with Jim Saddlein and Don McLean. Temple led by 7 at the half. 11 now before the shot launched by Brunson, but before he got the shot off, the foul is called. Harry Moore will take his 2nd foul.
Bonnie's not in the 1-on-1 yet. Neither team is, Temple or Bonnie, so take it out at the side court.
5:08 to go. This is McKee and on Vanderpool. He broke away. And again from the stack left, Brunson pops out.
Temple really does play here. Bonnie's looking to trap hard on a double team out front, but they don't want to let this man free, I don't believe.
McKee wrapped back for Cunningham. Had a chance to set. And then McKee lost the rebound. Here comes Vanderpool on the side, and McKee is hurt. Struggling a little bit down the other end. Quackenbush decides to go up with 2 rather than 1 hand.
Probably a good choice. David Vanderpool with the steal, the hard dribble down, and the dish off.
So now, Temple's lead to 9 points.
9 with 4 to go.
And McKee back in the flow.
Rick Brunson really wanted the ball down low against Shandu McNeil.
Now he has it out high against McNeil. Moore comes over to help out from behind. To Jones, not a bad choice when you turn around and your paths were cut off. Jones puts up the tray and he hits it.
You know, Bonnie's did everything right except they left the best player on the court, Eddie Jones, who drills the 3. He is some player.
Vanderpool fakes the 3, goes in. Now that went through Quackenbush to Mance. Quackenbush tried the offensive board. Vanderpool did too. Vanderpool's shot is tipped by Cunningham, and he draws a foul.
David Vanderpool not leaving anything here tonight. He is giving it all. This is a big-time game for David Vanderpool. Doesn't have a lot of great numbers scoring-wise, but I'm telling you what, he's going on the board strong once. It's up another time.
And now again.
It's got some big horses in there with Cunningham and Ivy and those guys. So
it's a second on Cunningham.
Yep.
Vanderpool. A little long. He had 3 foul shots in the first half. 1 of 3 in the second half from the line.
Somebody's in there early. I think Jason Ivey went in way early and got away with it.
Well, I guess you could say that's some evidence maybe of Vanderpool being a little bit tired.
Yep, they might be fatigued somewhat here. They've really played very hard.
Cunningham all alone.
That might be the so-called exclamation point. Up 14 with 3.5 to go. These aren't the type of games that Temple blows.
No. You don't expect a mini version of last night's replay from Baton Rouge.
No, only because Bonnie's is not a real good three-point shooting team either.
Which is what Kentucky was able to butter its bread with last night. Up to Brunson. Brunson with 11. And now a 16-point lead. Timeout taken by the Bonnies. They're going to have to hit trays, make every possession count, and continuously stop Temple. We'll take the timeout, too. It's a 16-point Temple lead. 45 left on the Empire Sports Network.
Tuition's pretty high.
Working hard for your money isn't enough.
Is this negotiable?
Today, your money has to work harder for you.
No way we can afford this. But I love it.
Call now for your free Wall Street Journal guide to understanding money and investing. It focuses on financial markets, the risks and the rewards of investments, so you can make informed choices that could help you achieve your personal goals. Make your money work harder than ever. Call now to get your guide free when you subscribe to the Wall Street Journal, where you'll find information you need to get ahead and stay there. News, insight, and analysis that can affect decisions you make. From world events to issues that mean the world to you, the Wall Street Journal hits home every business day. Get 10 weeks of the Journal for just $36 and the Guide to Understanding Money and Investing free with your paid subscription. Call toll-free 800-228-5500. That's 800-228-5500.
There have been 2 big runs in this game by Temple. One late in the first half, then here early in the second half, and now Cunningham all alone underneath slams it home for his first field goal of the night to put Temple up by 16. Check out Pac-10 basketball action as the UCLA Bruins take on the Arizona State Sun Devils live tomorrow night at 10 on Empire Sports Network. Your home for great college basketball action. See how my buddy Jim Herrick does with that one.
Jim Herrick, originally out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Met him on that horrible campus of Malibu there at Pepperdine University.
That almost slid into the ocean.
Yeah. Harry Moore misses that shot.
First good look in a while for Harry Moore, but this game is just a matter now of what the final score was going to be. And I'm sure Bonaventure's looking at it and saying, hey, we've played pretty well all night long here. Let's not lose by 20.
Right. Keep playing hard, as they have been doing. Cunningham can't handle that one. 2:16 left. Shandu McNeil is at a big night.
Yep, he's played very, very well. Harry Moore's played well. Vanderpool's played pretty well.
He hits the tray. Vanderpool with 11 points.
Bonnie's called quick timeout to stop the clock.
They get the timeout now, trailing by 13. As you see, 2:02 to play. Derek Battie with 4 fouls and 2:02 left will report back in the game for Temple.
You know, this is the type of situation, too, for Jim Barron, where he can use this kind of a game as somewhat of a launching pad and have him realize that Temple is one of the top programs and has been one of the top programs in the country for a long, long time. Bonaventure's kind of a wannabe right now. We'd love to be in that kind of a position eventually. Takes a lot of hard work, a lot of great players, and a lot of discipline and effort to get to that level. There's the three. One of the infrequent threes that have gone down for Bonnie's tonight. And good effort.
Temple led by Jim Maloney tonight in the absence of John Chaney. 4 losses this year. Their home-and-home series, both ends lost against West Virginia. They also lost at UMass on Sunday and out of the league. Lost to Georgia Tech at Madison Square Garden. Season low for the Bonnies.
So far, well, they had 52 the last time they played against Temple. They have 48 now. Temple will make you do that, though.
Yeah.
We talked all night long about McKee and Brunson and Eddie Jones and how smooth and sweet they are on the offensive end, but they're terrific defensive players, too. And, you know, they've always had a great defensive program here. And they make you shoot poorly a lot of times. It's not just Bonnie's shooting with nobody in their face.
However, the Bonnies probably had more good shots produced tonight than they probably would have expected.
Yeah, you're probably right. Good foul.
Quackenbush outside, matched with Ivy. Then Quackenbush picks up his 3rd.
Well, we're going to see some fouls, I would think, at the end now. Certainly by the Bonnies, and to try to hang in here.
Jason Ivy at the line. He had a field goal in the first half. Out of Gadsden, Alabama.
And he misses.
So he missed the front end of the 1-and-1.
Ivy's only a 41% free throw shooting. Very poor, so I'm sure Jimmy.
Vanderpool's tray goes.
10 point, minute 38 to go. You can be sure that Jason Ivy won't touch it now unless it's in a desperate situation.
There you go.
Absolutely, you got to foul him. They're still not in the 2-shot foul. Ivy, as we mentioned before, shooting 23 out of 57 now from the free throw line, well under 40%. They're going to hack him every time he touches the ball.
3 fouls on Harry Moore. There again, the play along the side. If Moore hadn't fouled him, Garland Mance would have.
Absolutely. This is one of the ones where you're not afraid to foul him and let him shoot 2. Misses again. Crazy as it might seem, if Bonnie's ever throw a 3 down here, this game is not over yet.
McNeil in the lane, and it goes. Shandu McNeil with 13, 3-point of his single game high.
The ball will not leave Brunson, Jones, or McKee's hands at this point. They're going to have to foul somebody, though. I don't think that they can choose at this point. They've got to foul anybody that they get a chance at.
59 seconds to go. A pass and batted away before Ivy could get possession on the left side. 55 seconds left.
Jim Maloney said this game isn't over yet. We're going to have to sit down and talk about it first.
Let's get things organized if we possibly can. So 55 seconds left and an 8-point lead now. There you have the Bonnies scoring run. 8 points in the last 100 seconds to pull within 8.
You know, it's not over yet. There's no question of that. But even if this comes up short, you know, Bonnies can look at this and say, you know, if we lose by 7 or 8 or 6 or 5 or something, that's a terrific effort. And they really have played very well all game. I don't think Temple has been on top of their game. Bonnies might have something to do with that, but I think the circumstances surrounded also might have something to do with it.
Sure.
The absence of John Chaney. But you know what? I keep saying this one is not over yet. I mean, you're talking 8 with 55 seconds. If they come in, start making, they're still not taking 2 free throws. They're only still in the 1-and-1 one more time. They miss another one. Bonnies ever come down and make a 3. Stranger things have happened. We saw that last night.
Oh, did we ever? An incredible, the NCAA record-breaking comeback. LSU had a 31-point lead on Rick Pitino's Kentucky Wildcats at home in Baton Rouge.
You know, when watching that game, I kept thinking all the way through that this is something that the late Jimmy Valvano always talked about. Don't ever quit, don't ever quit, don't ever quit. Pitino makes sure his players don't quit. Strange things happen when you play hard. Bonnies are playing hard right now.
And Pitino was one of the first guys who ever decided to make full use in college basketball, then in the pros as well, of the 3-pointers. David Vanderpool with 12 points. Actually, I have him with 14 right now, according to my book. Well, in any case,
Harry Moore has led the Bonnies in scoring the last 15 consecutive games. He only has 11 right now. But I'll tell you what, Harry Moore would gladly surrender that record if they could ever somehow pull a miracle here in Riley Center.
Absolutely. He had 9 points in the first half, including a three-pointer for his first chance. You see the score lower right.
We mentioned before that McKee is an 83% foul shooter. Eddie Jones, 64%. Derek Petit, 56, and Richie Brunson, 64. So you got to foul anybody. Foul Brunson or Eddie Jones or anybody right now.
No, they're not fouling.
No, you don't want to foul him. That's the guy you don't want to foul. They had a chance to foul Brunson. They had a chance to foul Eddie Jones. I would rather take my chances with them than with McKee. But McKee hasn't been up to the line for a while either. So at this point, you can't be particular.
No. Hey, Nelson Richards, the other 23 in the home uniform, called for the foul. Aaron McKee had 11 points in the first half. He's hit a tray in the second. And gets the free throw here. Eddie Jones with a big night for the Owls, 23 points. With 46 seconds to go, McKee can put his team in front by 10 with this free throw. And he does.
Shooters roll. That's what happens when you got good shooters. They get those kind of things.
McNeil. Mance puts up the tray. He scores.
You know, Bonnie's three-point shooting percentage isn't going to look quite as bad because they've made some here at the end. There's a man to foul, though.
And they do. Harry Moore commits his fourth. 34 seconds left.
Still not out of the woods.
Petit already is nothing of 2 from the line.
As we mentioned, he's a 56% free throw shooter. He's going to get 2 cracks this time, though. That takes a little of the pressure off.
Petit lines up that first one short. Jason Ivey missed the front ends of 2 1-and-1s. Now Petit hits that one with 34 seconds left. That gives him 7 points. It gives Temple an 8-point advantage with 34 remaining and the timeout taken. Well, a number of the fans, 5,817 here tonight, have left at least the upper level of the Riley Center. 2 home games left for St. Bonaventure. They will have Rutgers and Rhode Island coming into town. And they play at George Washington this Friday, later down to Pittsburgh to take on Duquesne, and then play at Rutgers as well. As you take a look at the schedule, the Atlantic 10 Conference Tournament the week of March 5th through the 7th.
You know, Bonaventure has already beaten George Washington. Now, they're very difficult to play down in D.C., but Rutgers they certainly have a shot with. They were close with Duquesne, Rhode Island and Rutgers again. They have a legitimate chance. Remember, last year they didn't win 1 league game. 0-17. Here they're 3-7, probably looking at 3-8 right now, but certainly they've been competitive in almost every one of their games. And Jim Barron has really done a nice job with this basketball team. And you know, you'd like to have Harry Moore back a couple more years, of course. That would make things a little bit easier. But recruiting has got to be at the top of his list right now. He needs to go out and get some real good players to complement some of the people coming back.
I thought I saw some guys in high school play 6 straight years for the same school.
Did you?
Yeah, so, you know, that sort of thing can happen. You never know.
Yeah. In fact,
but 3 conference wins this year. And again, the one that really shook everybody up was the George Washington game here at the Riley Center.
Yep, and then come back and beat West Virginia. So West Virginia, of course, beat this Temple team twice.
34 seconds left. Shandu McNeil the pickup. To the hole, rejected by Petit and brought down by Ivey. Brunson to the backcourt. 25 seconds to go. McNeil tried to foul him. Now does.
Well, Shandu took it right to the basket, but Derek Petit makes a big-time block to stop the goal.
22 seconds left. Brunson 4 of 4 from the line tonight.
Here's the block as we see Shandu try to create something, and he's a very, very good player also. Mark Macon was one of the only, there's a rare miss for Rick Brunson, but Mark Macon was one of the only players that really was allowed under John Chaney's system to come in and be the man very early in his career. I can see Derek Petit down the road some, really being the type of player that's going to have a major role in this program offensively as well as defensively.
Air ball try. Carlin Mance with the miss.
Probably no reason to foul right now. Keep it down. Bonnies have done a terrific job.
6 seconds. You see the time?
Temple's done what they've had to do. Come out of Olean with a win. All accounts.
And a 9-point differential of this one. 65-56. Temple with the victory here tonight. So the Bonnies now have lost their last 2, 4 of their last 5, and 6 of their last 7. For Temple, they had lost 2 of their previous 3, including their last start Sunday at UMass. Their record now 18-4, 11-3 in conference play. The Bonnies go to 9-12 and 3-8 in the Atlantic 10. Stay tuned. We will have more coming up as Temple beats St. Bonaventure 65-56. The Empire Sports Network.
Eastern Hills Mall, Q102, and Empire Sports Network want to show you how to turn your mall receipts into thousands of dollars in valuable prizes in the Eastern Hills Mall Frequent Shopper Program. Visit the Prime